we are going.
You serious?
One of the things that you notice when you're looking at these images of rockets, many of them, I think they're basically maquettes of scale models. I think they are. I don't think these are real. You never see a person walking around. Yeah, some of these, I mean, here is just plain CGI. I mean, it's very obvious CGI. But you know, you're watching this for like how many hours? Like 4 hours of bullshit. Who was watching this? It's impossible to be that stupid. That's what I'm saying. Look at this. Like it's C-3PO. That's why we've been talking about it. They really messed up in the job. It doesn't really matter. It's only a few people in the world who are awake, and most people who are watching it, I mean, they have to be totally zoned out, brained off. Their brains are out. Everything is off. It is R2-D2. You know, that's what it is. So they have hours of this shit. Hours. Where's the orchestra?
Roughly, earlier this evening, probably about an hour ago, when a leak was detected at the core stage liquid hydrogen valve.
They always come up with a bunch of bullshit. Who's the idiot who's writing all this crack? And eventually it still goes like they have a leak. Like they talk about the leak. It's like, you know, imagine the poor bastards who are watching this for 7-8 hours. And, you know, I don't know. It's just so insane. Look at this. Like, it moves. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. Look at that. It's just, it is unbelievable. What a fucking shit is this? Look at this. Oh, my God. It is just, it's not even worth spending. Oh, it's going, actually. This is the countdown. It starts with some... Look at this. What is this? It's this shit that they start with. It's like fireworks. It's like a fucking, you know, like the kind of... And it hits the ship as well. Look at that. What the hell is this shit? What the hell? It's like those New Year's fireworks that they have here in the Netherlands that you hold in your hand. The kind of rain, I don't know what they call this crack, but let's take a look at this. Let's see what they're saying. It's an important moment.
The Space Launch System is
the Space Light System
now counting down to liftoff of Orion on its maiden voyage to the moon.
Okay, let's see what the hell he's saying. All the propaganda.
Launch team can no longer recycle the count.
Mm-hmm. It's a confetti.
Sound suppression water now flowing under the ML.
They have all kinds of shit.
And here we go.
Ignition.
Hydrogen burn-off igniters initiate. 7, 6.
What the hell is all this water
5,
they throw in to contain the fire?
4-stage engine start. 3.
They try to make it exciting.
2, 1. Boosters in ignition. And liftoff of...
Look at this CGI. No, this is the worst. Yeah, compare this with the footage from the Apollo 11. The Apollo 11 footage is with cinema, you know, 35mm cameras. And it looks so much better. They make it slow motion. They have a camera on some kind of prop, which is a real prop. This is not real. This is absolute fake ass CGI. This is like the movement of the camera. Everything is just fake about this. Look at how it...
We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
And beyond. They use that phrase "and beyond" like it's the, you know, the elixir of cosmology. Like they're going beyond the fuck all. They're going nowhere. That's what's ridiculous. Everything's just upside down. And this must definitely, I mean, in my opinion, this is definitely some kind of scale model kind of thing. The place doesn't look, things don't look to be in the correct scale. Something is off about this whole scenario here. Okay, let's see how it goes.
All 4 RS-25 engines on the core stage and 2 solid rocket boosters now
they make sure that this thing is as obfuscated as possible. Like you can't see anything. You can't see the rocket, the freaking lights. They forgot to put some kind of, you know, illumination or some kind of lights on the rocket. It's not the Chinese rocket. The Chinese rockets, they make even confetti pop out and all kinds of other shit. But in this case, they forgot to put some kind of spotlight on the stupid thing. You can't see anything. You just see the freaking
at 128
fire
miles
popping
per
out
hour.
of it.
Hearing good control on the roll.
That the thing is going away from you, but it never changes size. It goes very slowly, even though it's going away at extreme fast speeds, which is totally impossible. It contradicts reality. Look at this. It doesn't. What is it? It's just standing there. It doesn't get smaller.
607 miles per hour.
If it's 600 miles an hour and it's going away from you, it cannot just be. What the heck's going on?
You're
with
looking at
this?
8.8 million pounds of maximum thrust. Quiet here.
Like it has different angles. Suddenly it changes angles. It changes colors. You don't see the actual rocket. Look at that.
In the loops and mission control.
The sound still seems to be in the same
Stages
loudness.
throttling down ahead of passing through max Q.
Now it's got a different angle again. So here the angle is like sideways. Here it's going up, and the flame is much longer. It's so odd. Hey, look at how stable the camera is. Okay, you can claim that they have some kind of laser guided system that keeps, you know, this part of, I'm gonna put the cursor in a single place. I'm gonna run the video so you can see if it moves. Moves a little bit, okay. Not much. This cameraman is amazing. Look at that. Barely moves.
Now 1 minute 21 seconds.
And it doesn't
into the flight,
change
traveling at
sizes.
1,420 miles per
It's almost like there's some kind of torch like sitting
hour.
there.
The 4 core stage engines are back at maximum thrust.
And you always need to have, they like this idea, this hypnotic idea of somebody reading off a script that makes no sense. At the same time, they have, supposedly, they show to you many times again and again, their command control, mission control centers with a bunch of screens and people allegedly doing something, but you never see it. You never see anything that they're doing. In the Apollo days, it was more exciting. Because they didn't have so much CGI to show, they had to do it with props, with cameras, better cameras, and they had to make these people in the mission control do something.
7 seconds into
Where's
the
the
flight,
rocket?
so
It's
about
like
30
the
seconds from
rocket
now.
disappeared.
Again, quiet here and
Every projectile shot straight upwards will eventually begin to arc, form a parabola, and come right back down to Earth, as evidenced by literally every rocket NASA has ever launched. These rockets are always shot with their arc facing the same direction, which just happens to be smack dab in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. NASA says, of course, that the rockets are intentionally making this parabolic course so that gravity can somehow slingshot them into outer space, a completely unevidenced claim which their fanboys and fangirls just accept without question. For the skeptical, critical thinkers among us, however, a careful examination of the photo and video evidence proves that this is impossible. The extreme arc and angle, compared to the relatively short distance these rockets take on their parabolic course, shows they are clearly coming right back down to Earth.
Houston, as teams continue monitoring the flight of Artemis 1.
Don't see anything. Where are the cameras from the actual rocket? Why don't they show the cameras on the
Range from the
rocket?
launch pad at Kennedy Space Center, traveling over 2,800 miles per hour.
That is a different color. So it's reddish, then it turns yellow. It looks different, right? Maybe it's just the angle. It's looking from above. These predictable, the idea that you can predict the rocket trajectory and it doesn't change sizes as it goes away from you, it's contradicted in just basic plain observations on the outside. Even a car that goes away from the observer gets much smaller very quickly. These rockets, they don't ever do that. Many of them don't do that.
Standing by for solid
So it's a
rocket
perfect
booster jettison
zooming
and
in.
shortly thereafter.
What the heck is this? Now it's some, yeah, the boosters are popping out. So basically you have, in this case here, you have one color with a bunch of smoke. You can see all the smoke. You can never see the rocket. It changes colors. Like, it's almost, it reminds me of the DART impact, when they had the DART impact from different telescopes. One, it looks red, the other one looks blue, the other, they look different. Unbelievable.
Standing by for solid rocket booster jettison and shortly thereafter.
Well, if it's fail logic, bro, why is it's bobbing so crazy now? Why are they going all over the place here in this shot? Where's the mount? Where's the special mount predicting the trajectory on this shot, buddy? Tell me about that. Because it doesn't look like they're predicting anything. Also, it looks like there's different angles with the rocket not even changing sizes here for a long time. It's going away from you. Just go out in the street. Watch something going away from you. It doesn't get bigger. It doesn't stay the same size. And there's no way you can be zooming in the same rate that the thing is going away. So it just shows that it's just total bullshit.
Confirmation that the solid rocket boosters have separated.
This is supposed to be the solid rocket boosters separating. The main rocket has some kind of purplish color. The other rockets have a red tint. And then they have an angle from the side. Is this from an airplane? Now this thing change. Like it's first a purplish light. Then in this they change the shot and it's got 4 lights on it and these yellow things going up. What the fuck is this? Like, how can people believe this is the same shit?
Have separated these 177-foot boosters.
And look at their tracking, eh? This great tracking. Yeah, total bullshit. Okay, yeah, now some fireworks.
Over 3,004.
Look at that. Confetti style, Chinese style confetti fireworks.
Foot boosters. Now the core stage continues to power the flight of Orion.
Trying to argue that this shit's real for me is just kind of get out of our face. No freaking time to waste.
Hearing nominal calls.
It's already a waste of time to look at it.
Here in Mission Control, Houston.
And here comes the Atari the Atari screen. This is the worst. Look at the 66666 here. What the hell is it? ET 66666? Okay. What the heck is this? No, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, the dumbasses who believe this shit, they must have some kind of fucking explanation for this. A very technical explanation. Look at this.
Engines on the core stage.
Yeah, it's a tracking device. Yeah, they're just so freaking bad at it. They can't track the fucking thing.
We'll be looking for the service module fairing to separate. This is 3 15 by 15 foot fairing panels, providing structural support, protecting the service module.
No, and the ball of the thing, it's going away, but it doesn't change sizes. It's just
3 minutes and 11 seconds into flight, and very shortly thereafter will be followed by the launch abort system separation.
What is this? Who came up with this?
Just over 3 minutes into the flight of
they
Artemis
finally
1,
managed to track it. Look at that.
4,060 miles per hour, 83 miles downrange.
What the fuck is it? No, there's some games from the 80s and 90s, like early Nintendo games are better than this.
That the service module fairing has separated.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's separated from Orion. Look at this. Oh, Lion. This sounds great now.
We just heard the call for 3-engine press, meaning if SLS were to lose
Just heard the
an
call.
engine at this point in the mission, we could still achieve a nominal mission.
Nominal, yeah. It's gonna get Hey, here comes the CGI. Now the ballers are like, oh, finally I can see the rocket.
We would just have an extended main engine cutoff time.
Look at
However, we
that.
still have 4
Yeah, the different colors of the booster now. That's green. It's a different kind of chemicals.
engines, all at maximum thrust right now, powering the first flight of
Look at that truss.
ARTEMIS at 5,200 miles per hour.
This is also apparent by the fact that shortly after the rockets are out of view from onlookers at Cape Canaveral, NASA always changes from showing live, real footage to nothing but CGI for the rest of the broadcast. Anyone watching the NASA Artemis launch live will have noticed the stark contrast from the clearly real footage being received for the first few minutes to the clearly fake CGI footage being shown for the next several hours. For the next several hours, NASA ushered in their usual brigade of high-fiving mission controllers interspersed with truly terrible computer graphics, which they never admit are fake and constantly praise and talk about as if they are watching a live video feed. Nobody bothers to ask why we can't have multiple live videos facing all directions for the entire flight. Why do we only get whatever little snippets NASA decides to share, rather than full, unedited footage from multiple angles for the entire duration of the flight? Even if it could not be broadcast live, we, the NASA taxpaying public, deserve to see the entire journey, unedited, from launch to landing. Of course, we have never and will never see such unedited footage, which would be simple to provide if these missions were real.
Is this here the
To
vision
fire
from the
and
rocket?
Power the flight of Artemis 1, now traveling over 6,800 miles per hour, 229 miles
Holy
downrange.
shit. Wow.
Booster flight controller reports that the engines are looking good.
Yeah, the flight controller. Yeah, the engines are looking good. Just you can't see it. Can't see it as a fucking CGI. And look at that. Yeah, it's going away. It just doesn't change sizes. And yeah, they have their amazing tracking device that can freaking
Minutes
track
and 11 seconds
for-
into the flight,
for your life. Look at that. What the hell
7,656
is
miles
that?
per hour.
reassuring cartoons.
Again, 4 good core stage engines, those 4 RS-25 engines.
So good. Yeah, I can see it.
The last time those core stage engines flew, they were taking space shuttles to orbit, and now
Yeah, this is the other one. They have to believe. It's amazing. Yeah, they have to believe that these are recycled. Yeah, they're saving money. Yeah, they recycle the space shuttle engines. Oh my God, it's crack after crack after crack. And the believers have to swallow
minutes,
it all.
42
Swallow
seconds
it
into
all.
the mission. We are now traveling
don't have a choice.
8,800 miles per hour,
They
340
must have an excuse for this freaking CGI
miles
video.
downrange from the launch pad at
Look at
Kennedy
that.
Space Center.
It keeps going away and they still have a camera on it and it doesn't get smaller. It changes colors still. Every time it's got a different color. Now it's red. Here is green. Oh my God. Okay, it's just so bad. And they just have the CGI rotating on the screen for the idiots to
They've
watch.
been working so hard,
So hard.
working so hard
So hard.
for this moment.
Where's the actual foot? Do they have any kind of footage that they say is real? Is this supposed to be real?
To
This?
prevent any loads from breaking
This?
or damaging the arrays. And on the end of each solar array
Oh my God. Okay, let's skim it. Oh, this is the views from
gives us
Earth.
the opportunity to stay in orbit longer since we
It's like,
practice.
what the hell? Wow, it is so bad. It's unbelievable that people. I just can't. You have to be an idiot. I'm sorry. CC 33.
Let's bring back NASA's Dan Hewitt with our new moon board.
Oh yeah, the
Hey,
new
thanks.
boom. That's what's important. The CGI
Megan,
board.
I gotta be honest, we ran outside. Since the dawn of time, humans have looked at the sky and shouted at our neighbor, I'm gonna walk in your face.
Oh my god, who is this idiot, man? Why do we have to? Why am I looking at this?
And in the 60s, we actually did it.
Yeah, you did it.
6 times, starting with
666 times.
Neil
Yeah.
Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Apollo 11, 1969, followed by 5 more successive landings, each time delivering 2 human beings to the surface of the moon. Our last one was Apollo 17.
Remind the idiots that they shouldn't question any of this. Look at this stupid prop that they say landed there. Just take a closer look. Let's take a closer look
That
at the
was in
land.
1972, Gene Cernan and Harrison Smith stepping off for the last
repeat.
time. Now,
Take a second to honestly observe the following picture and tell me what this looks like to you. If you said a bunch of cardboard, construction paper, curtain rods, gold tape, and foil, you would be correct. If instead you said the National Aeronautics and Space Administration's highest technological achievement, incapable of being reproduced today, the Apollo 11 lunar lander, then you would also be correct. Most unbiased viewers would assume your average high school art class could construct this contraption without much struggle. But official NASA spokesman and astronaut Don Pettit assures us that actually, this 1969 technology is so advanced that even with their multi-billion-dollar yearly budget, they cannot for the life of them recreate it now. I go back to the moon in a nanosecond, Don informs us. But NASA destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. Firstly, why on earth would NASA destroy the original Apollo lunar landers? The historic first crafts that landed men on the moon? The supposed most incredible achievements of mankind, and they irreparably destroyed them so that they could not be replicated even after 50 years? Could it be because they didn't want future generations able to visit museums and see these laughable 1960s attempts at high-tech looking space vehicles? And what other 1960s technology is so advanced and expensive that it cannot be recreated easily and far better now than way back then? Let's take a closer look at this 1960s spaceship and see what else we can notice. For example, look at the paneling here, on the side of the craft. If someone sheetrocked your house looking like this, you would be entitled to a full refund. Yet, with supposedly the best engineers and scientists in the world on the job, this is the kind of craftsmanship NASA provides? Look at the flimsy, haphazard, and careless construction materials and methods used. Look at the buckling, warping, and indentations showing how thin the paneling is. What is this thing? A Twinkie? No, I'm sure it's some super important and necessary high-tech device. Here there are press stubs, and here also has press stubs. But here, and here, they must have run out, so they used gold foil instead. And then over here, they must have run out of gold foil because they didn't bother with either. Look over here, at the evenly spaced lines of gold foil going down the legs, until you get to this point, where there is 3 lines right close together. It must be important because it's the connection point to the other crossbars, right? Let's look at another leg. Oh, no. On this one, they are all evenly spaced the whole way down. No 3 lines near the crossbar. Apollo 11 mission controller Harold Loden was quoted saying, "The skin on the crew cabin was very thin, and that was all done because of weight saving. If you really took your finger and poked hard at it, you could poke right through the outer skin of the spacecraft. It was about the thickness of 2 layers of aluminum foil." Project manager Thomas Kelly concurred, noting that the skin, the aluminum alloy skin of the crew compartment, was about 12 1/1000ths of an inch thick, equivalent to about 3 layers of Reynolds wrap that you would use in the kitchen. Apollo astronaut Jim Lovell said, "Whenever I saw a model of the lunar module, it had these rigid sides and looked really strong. Turns out that external portions of the lunar module are actually made up of mylar and cellophane, and it's put together with Scotch tape and staples.
If you really took your finger and poked hard at it, you could poke right through the outer skin of the spacecraft. It was about the thickness of 2 layers of aluminum foil. But it's the kind of thing that you were reasonably cautious that you didn't jab any pointed objects through.
The skin of the lunar module is so thin that you could punch a hole right through it.
The skin, the aluminum alloy skin of the crew compartment was about 12 thousandths of an inch thick. That's equivalent to about 3 layers of Reynolds wrap that you would use in the kitchen.
You don't just build something and hope it works. You study to see what the threats are, the environment is, and then you say, how thick do I have to make the metal on the spacecraft so that going through this kind of radiation or these kind of meteoroids, it won't get hurt. And then we build it that way.
You could punch a hole right through it.
Have plate tectonics that are constantly recycling the crust.
Okay, enough for this guy. I can't take it. Okay, the questions. Let's see.
Yeah, so this is Chad. He's our safety guy. And behind me is Billy. And he's the experienced hydrogen tech out here.
And the three of you guys really, I would say, saved the day today. I mean,
they closed the leak from it. Yeah,
you guys had to go in there to what's called the blast danger zone. You guys are specially trained to be able to do operations on the pad while cryo is loading. Talk to us about getting that call, being told, hey, you guys need to go in there. And it was the first time for all three of you.
Yeah, all I could say.
They got it right the first time. Yeah.
We were very excited. I was ready to get up there and go.
Really? How are you guys feeling?
I was very comfortable, very confident in the test team and the procedures and our training. We did a great job.
Walk us. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
How gratifying it must be for you guys, because you train for this eventuality, but don't always get to do it. Whether it's a spacewalk or robotics operations, you really want to put that training into practice. How do you guys feel like it went today?
Amazing. I still can't believe it.
I can't believe it either, buddy. Nobody
it's surreal
can.
To me.
Yeah, it is surreal because it's fake.
Insane.
Insane, unbelievable. Yeah, that's right.
Walk us through what you were thinking. So you get there, and what is it? Just like game time, and you're really focused, or how are you feeling?
How do you close that leak?
Yeah, I'd say we were very focused on what was happening up there, just making sure
what?
We knew what was happening.
And what was happening, for God's sake? Yeah, we are very focused out there to see on what was happening because it was happening. What the hell is this? Like, where's the detail that you expect
on what was
from a technician?
Really?
Yeah, I'd say we were very focused on what was happening up there, just making sure we knew what was happening. Because the rocket's, it's alive, it's creaking, it's making venting noises. It's pretty scary. So on zero deck, my heart was pumping. My nerves were going, but yeah, we showed up today. I think
we showed up. Oh my God, they cannot talk about the actual thing that they're supposed to be doing. If you're a technician, that's what you talk about. You know exactly what you're doing, in detail. Not this bullshit. This is incredible though, as a piece of bullshit, because it's just so fake.
Yeah, we showed up today. I think as soon as we walked up the stairs, we were ready to rock and roll.
And they were telling us a bit about it while you were working on it. You guys were actually just torquing down the valve to prevent or reduce the leak rate or stop.
Now she knows more about it than they. And they're like, what about the valves that you close? Please, at least some detail.
The leak, is that right?
That's right. Just the packing gland. It was a little loose, so went up there and tightened her up.
You're probably still like in this oh my gosh moment, like all of us are. Has it actually hit you, like the role you played today in making Artemis 1 launch?
I still can't believe it. It's like I said, it's surreal and just amazing. I don't know about you guys, but
oh my God, look at that smile. Like Nosferatu's bastard child. Oh my god, this is so cringe. Okay, where is the actual thing? What is it doing? Is it this that it's doing? This? What's going on here?
NASA are composed of dozens and dozens of very highly trained, very specialized people.
So like are they showing you the simulators where they do the bullshit? Is that what they're doing here? The CGI production?
We're gonna try and keep an eye on it.
Is that what it is? Like they're like just basically rubbing your face?
You can see it. We're gonna
possible. And this is Artemis this is the Earth from Artemis's vision as it goes to the moon. It's so fake looking. Look at this. Like, come on, how can anybody believe that this is actually a thing, man?
All of the science that we're going to be able to...
How can anybody believe this shit? It's just incredible. You have to kind of, I don't know if you feel sorry for them, if you just call them idiots. Look at this. Kerbal Space Programming style shit. And that's it. I mean, this is all they showed. This is 11 hours later. Look at that. And then they give you the... It's a bunch of CGI crack in a row, a lot of it. And oof, this is bad. This is way worse than I thought. I thought there would be some kind of update, but there isn't. It's just the same old shite. Is this a, like, look at this. What a beautiful image, eh? Technology, 2022. 2022 tech. Look at that. The cameras, the $90 billion that they're taking and the camera that they give. Okay, this is 11. This is supposed to be real, right? Because when it's so obfuscated with their kind of scale model style, it's supposed to be real. And now this is the distance it is from the Earth. This is CGI and it's obviously CGI.
They're gonna know.
So let's not hold them responsible for this one.
How would they know?
So where are these images? Okay, where's the Earth from space?
How
it's
would
nowhere
they know?
yet. CGI Earth.
How would they know?
There?
Oh
there's your
God.
Earth. Okay, there you got it. The so-called Terminator that ballers go crazy about. No sunsets, no sunrises. Oh, you had it's kind of magic going on here. A change of lighting. Look at how fake this thing looks. What's illuminating it? Is that the sunlight hitting it? Just like it's hitting the Earth, I guess. No sunsets, no sunrises. Where is what? No actual continents that you can perceive. Everything in cloud cover. And you can see almost like some kind of face on it. They love this shit. They love doing that. There's always, maybe even a clown. You almost see a clown nose. Like they played pareidolia. Who knows what the hell they're actually putting in there. Here, it looks like a goat to me. Here, when you zoom in, I can show you what I mean. This is very weird. I mean, these guys are totally insane. And the fact they get away with this is just fantastic nowadays. It's an amazing thing about the world.
After a few days, the first images and videos allegedly being sent back from the moon reached NASA, and the following footage is what they released to the public. Many of you can tell just by looking that this is not genuine and is clearly CGI, but many others will swear until they are blue in the face that this is authentic footage. The reality is, though, that it is easily proven to be fake, doctored footage with just a little knowledge of video editing software. By adjusting the brightness and contrast levels, and gradually removing the hues that comprise black from the background, small square artifacts begin to appear around the objects in the video. As you can see, the Earth, Moon, and craft all have these markings, which are only present in doctored footage. In real, genuine, authentic footage, without any manipulation or editing, these artifacts will not appear anywhere, no matter how you adjust the hues, brightness, or contrast. This is a clear smoking gun against NASA, but not the first time they have been exposed for the same trick. The many Earthrise images NASA has released since the Apollo times up to present day have been analyzed and criticized for the exact same kind of fakery. Unfortunately, this important information continues to be swept under the conspiracy theory carpet by the manipulated masses, while charlatan organizations like NASA receive endless amounts of undue praise and tax money.
that these people are able to get away with this, and there's idiots who come out to protect them, to defend their enslavers.
Check this tosh out, fresh off the press. The so-called return to the moon, ARTEMIS 1, and what do we get? Look!
And as we continue to marvel in this spectacular image here in Mission Control Houston, you have a great view of the Orbital Maneuvering System, or OMS, and...
Marvel? Have you been on them wild mushrooms again, my dear? You're showing the Earth to be something that's scientifically impossible. Well, you're doing it in a mocking fashion here. We've got Thunderbird-style fucking spacecraft, a daft globe Earth, which of course is ridiculous. Long gone is the conversation about the shape of the Earth. It's demonstrably level, tested and verified by all. So there's no marvel here. This is ridiculous. I thought they might at least try and up their game to help out their deluded fans. Well, look!
In that main engine on the top left of your screen there that was used an hour and 43 minutes ago to perform the OTC, or outbound trajectory correction maneuver, as well as a few of the auxiliary engines on the bottom of the European service module, flanked by the solar array wing on the right portion, right above the...
That's enough of that glitching out, my dear. It's not easy, is it, to big up bullshit? And, you know, I can see you're struggling. And no doubt because it looks ridiculous. Why? Because it is ridiculous. Even if I was a globe believer, you know, say I banged me head and I just thought reality was exactly the opposite to what could be tested and verified by all, and I had all the Star Trek, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica box sets to help me on my deluded journey. Even then, I'd be looking at this and thinking, that is terrible, lads. Terrible.
Can anybody tell what is anything on this image from the Earth? From a distance, I almost see this is like the eye of some kind of goat, but I'm not so sure when I get too close to it. It just looks like nothing. It doesn't look natural at all. And it's an Earth that this time doesn't have any kind of sodium layer or the colors that you see around with the space station. Also, they decided to go with no stars whatsoever. Not sure what's the excuse here, because they can show stars when they want to. It's kind of like when we go here, there'll be stars. Not now, but let's see here. There you go. Here, it's even with this, sometimes with the sunlight, alleged sunlight, or the sun coming in, like in that one. What the heck? What is causing this to happen? Suddenly it has like some kind of purplish glow all around the Earth. Is that a camera thing? Yeah, it's the sun getting stronger. The clouds got it. They're not in front of the sun anymore in the outer space. Is it sun flares? I mean, I'm sure some idiot is going to come up with some kind of excuse why this happens. Well, this is supposed to be real image from the inside where the puppets are. Yeah. Purple outside. What is this? The sun goes by. And look at like they even changed somehow. They decided to do this kind of distortion on it with the camera. Why? What's going on here? Is it interference? But this is the shittiest crack to date prognostic. This is amazing. I mean, we were thinking that they were going to do a better job. Why would you do this? What's the point of this distortion here for a moment? And now it got dark on the ship. And the sun is coming in? What the hell is going on here? It makes no sense at all. It shifts. It elongates. It comes back. Like, this is 2022 tech, eh? It squishes, Indio. Squishes, comes out. The sun moves around. And it comes and goes. What is causing this change of light? They have like flashing lights inside the ship. What the
There are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers.
view of Earth captured from a human-rated spacecraft not seen since 1972 during the final Apollo mission some 50 years ago. The views of our blue marble in the blackness of space now capturing the imagination of a new generation, the ARTEMIS generation. During the final Apollo mission some 50 years ago. The views of our blue marble in the blackness of space now capturing the imagination of a new generation, the ARTEMIS generation.